There are people who complain about feeling used in a relationship because a relationship is not progressing. And there are red flags that I wanted to share with you and how you can manage those red flags. There are no introduction to family and friends. When your person doesn't talk about the future with you, they don't progress the relationship. There's no, I'm your girlfriend, I'm your boyfriend, or there's only meeting at night, or dates are only at home when people are sleeping together, and there's no public dates or going out for meals, or you might even go out, but some of the parts of the relationship or of progression are not coming up in the relationship. So the first thing that I always say to people when you are in this situation or ask is, what relationship did you agree to when you met? Because sometimes people meet someone and they assume that they are on the same page because they gelled or they clicked. This word click. And then somewhere down the line, that click is not useful and there's no change in that you are not getting the relationship that you want. So instead of assuming that you're in a relationship, you need to find out whether you discussed what kind of relationship you were looking for and whether you agreed that you were on the same page, because the other person might not be looking for commitment. Number two, have there been a milestone conversation? So regardless of whether you agreed to be in a committed relationship or not, there is also the discussion about any milestone. Don't assume that you are boyfriend and girlfriend because you are sleeping together or because you are hanging out and dating. If you had not had any formal discussion for relationship milestones, then there might be an assumption of commitment which might not be true. You might not be on the same page. And number three, assess the dynamic. So even if you have discussed milestones or you agreed same relationship or you didn't, and your dynamic is not healthy, this will not inspire progression because, number one, people look to the dynamic. Am I in a healthy situation? Am I in a healthy relationship? Number two, if I don't feel like I'm in a healthy relationship and I'm not safe, then I cannot move forward with this relationship. And you need to be feeling the same, because what happens with people who complain about situations or red flags in a relationship is that they miss the important point that you need to focus on the dynamic. Is the relationship healthy rather than, am I your boyfriend or your girlfriend? Number four, again, whether you've discussed goals, milestones, you know what you want. And it is important that you recognize whether it's happening or not. And if it is not happening, then you need to ask the other person again what they are looking for, not with you, but in general. And if they are looking for commitment, there's a reason why this person is not committing. It might be based on the dynamic, or they don't see you in their future, just you, but they want a relationship. So you need to find out if they see you in their future. And don't ask trying to prompt something or get a result. Ask from a place of curiosity. And if they are not, then you need to start acting in best interest and letting them go. Number five, self-parenting. Sit with your inner child and objectively evaluate your situation. You would have done this at the start anyway. You need to create solutions to move forward, depending on the data that you have gathered by communicating with this person. You need to soothe the anxiety of abandonment or fear of abandonment that you might have in the event that this person is not showing up. So you need to leave the relationship, and you might struggle because you fear abandonment, and you need to act in your best interest. You then need to, like a parent, apply replacement exercises to focus on your life and other relationships, and not overly invest in a situation that sounds dead end. Number six, detaching. When you recognize that someone is showing red flags or they are not acting in best interest or in the interest of the relationship you want, then I know it's difficult for you to just up and go. So start to detach. And that's why you do self-parenting. And you need to take away the relationship benefits, because you are giving someone relationship benefits when they are not invested or committed to you. Stop sleeping with them. Spend less time with them. And where you do not live together, only spend time with them in public. And if they ask you why you are not sleeping with them or you are less available, be honest but casual and inform them that you are looking for commitment. And in this relationship, you don't feel like you are getting it, so you don't want to hurt yourself further. That's what you tell them. Don't engage in back and forth discussions or arguments. Walk away if an argument starts. You're not trying to prove yourself. You are just being honest about how you are feeling. At the same time, deep down, you are preparing to leave, because you are teaching yourself to live without this person. And number 7, mend the dynamic. If you are in a relationship which is unhealthy, or where you are going to commit at some point, you need to learn relationship skills. You need to improve conflict resolution. And it might be that also this is the reason why you have problems in your relationship. So find ways to improve your dynamic. And even if you are not going to end up together with this person, you need to use this relationship as practice. This is your practice ground. Number 8, talk is cheap. Sometimes you can tell this person how you are feeling, and then they promise you heaven and earth. Do not accept their words that things are going to change. You need to accept action. Only when you start to notice a change of action, of interventions, of showing up, that's the only time you can start to get back into the relationship. If they haven't introduced you to their family and friends, and you are now making changes, showing up, then until they introduce you to family and friends, don't go back there. But also recognize that if you want to go back there, you need to change your behavior and have boundaries. Because if you have stayed with someone, let's say for a year or 2 years, who's not giving you what you want, then you also have boundary issues. So make sure you make some changes. You need to start healing work. Explore healing work and get support to focus on yourself, to improve your self-relationship, and invest in replacement exercises. And this is the whole point that I'm trying to introduce now, that you need to have hobbies and interests. You need to get massages to replace physical touch. You need to exercise and get involved in your projects, and you join your circle and support group and help other people. When you invest in yourself and you don't put pressure on this person, you stop asking for what they are not giving you, 2 things can happen. One of 2 things can happen. What will happen is your partner might begin to invest in the relationship, or one day you would decide that you are ready and strong enough to leave the relationship and grieve the loss if there's no change. And as I said, any relationship you are in is training ground for your next relationship.